with that, we've got a person here who's been in his job for 1 week, and he did a fine job last week, by the way. Please help me welcome our new CEO, Mr. Will Morris.
Thank you, Derek. Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to talk a little bit about this whole concept of declining audience and dying businesses and all this. There was a gentleman by the name of Ted Turner who in the mid-'80s said that the Atlanta Constitution would be out of business and would not be able to print his obituary. Well, I looked it up, and Ted Turner is 76, okay? So he's playing the back nine right now. The last time I checked, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution was still publishing and still pretty doggone healthy. So let's just keep that in context. Let's also think about other traditional media that are also going through change. Radio is losing listenership, okay? Yeah, it's going to satellite. And it's also going to iTunes, okay? Television is losing viewership. They are struggling. All right, where's that all going? It's going to cable, yes, and it's also going to digital downloads. So you see, we're not the only ones that are trying to maintain market share. It's tough out there, but the world is changing, and we're going to have to change with it. And I'm committed to doing that. So let me talk a little bit about Dad. He's not here. He really wanted to be with us today, but he has a chest cold, and we had to put him on a plane in Amarillo last Tuesday morning to send him back home. He had to go to the doctor, change his antibiotics up a little bit. So that's where he is. And he unfortunately wasn't able to be on the trip last week, and he wasn't able to be with us. So. But he's fine. I'll spend the weekend with him, and he's recovering, and so that's a good thing. He did turn over the CEO role to me. He held that title for 60 years. So he was forced to get into business at an early age. His father took ill, and so he was forced to get in at a very early age, and he's done a great job in bringing this company through the transitions that we have. He is going to remain publisher of the Augusta Chronicle until April 12th, and that will be exactly 50 years as publisher of the Augusta Chronicle. So I thought that he said that's important to me. I said that's fine. I'm okay with that. I got plenty to do. So what I'm going to be doing is working with all the other newspapers in the chain, working with our cable system, and then working with the corporation as we move forward. So I'll have plenty on my plate, to say the least. I'll talk a little bit about the radio company that's being sold, and I'll tell you why in just a few minutes. But anyway, so first and foremost, before I get started, I want to say thanks to my father and my mother for the lifelong learning lessons that they have given me. These are going to be very, very important to me as I move forward in this role. I'm also grateful to my grandfather, Bill Morris, and to my grandmother, Florence, because they were the ones that started this company. They put a second mortgage on their house. He was in debt his whole life. The reason that we're all in this room today is because of the two previous generations. And I just want to acknowledge that and say how grateful I am to my grandfather. One of the pledges I'm going to make to you is to honor the heritage and the tradition as we move this forward, this company forward. But I want to honor the tradition and the heritage that, the legacy that they have created. So now, you're probably wondering, some of you have never met me, who is Will Morris? I'm someone who's had a lot of experience in the media business. I started out selling Yellow Pages in San Diego for United Directories. I then had a very, very great opportunity to go work for Gannett in their outdoor advertising company. I did work there for 5 years. I worked in San Diego and in Phoenix. I did community relations, I did leasing, I did national sales and local sales. And it was really, really good insight for me to work for a public company to see how different public companies are versus private companies. So that was a lot of fun. In March of 1990, I left Gannett and joined Morris. I went to Athens, Georgia, where I worked up there as the general manager of the magazine and assistant to the publisher up there. I then had the wonderful opportunity to go to St. Augustine, Florida. And that was probably my dream job, Delinda. It was a great place, and I was there about 1.5 years. Then I had a chance to go back to Athens as publisher, and so I did that. In 95, I moved back to Augusta to join the corporate headquarters, where I became president of the newspaper group in 1996. I also had the opportunity to work with all the other Morris businesses. I got a chance to run the outdoor company, which I did for about 12 years. I got a chance to run the radio company, which I did for about 5 years. So I pretty much dabbled in a lot of different forms of media, and have really enjoyed the opportunity and the experience that I was able to have. All right, so I'll be 56 in December, and I have two boys, one of whom will be 16 on Wednesday. So that's going to be a new chapter in our lives, my wife and I. And the other one's 13, so they're good boys, and they really don't give me too much of a hard time. I also have a brother, Tyler, and a sister, Susie Morris Baker. And I want you to know that they have also worked, all three of us have worked in the business. We've all three been in the trenches, and we've all three been publishers. So I'm very, very fortunate to have that. We sit on the board of directors, we sit at the executive committee, and on the budget committee. So we're all in this together. As I take on the operational role of this company, I want you to know that I have the complete trust and support of my brother and my sister. We talk weekly, we meet frequently, and we are all on the same page. We all agree that we want to move, this third generation wants to move this company forward. And I'm just grateful, I'm really grateful that we're all on the same page as to the direction that we want to go. Y'all, I'm sure you've all heard the statistics, but the survivability of family companies in the second, third, fourth, fifth generation, it's really tricky because there are a lot of dynamics in play. And by the way, there is a fourth generation. There's 6 of them. My son William being the oldest, and he's already been attending some meetings, and he's already working with his grandfather on the equine side of things. So he's got it in his blood. Now let me say a couple of words about 2 very, very important things. It's about products, and it's about people. We are fortunate to have the strongest brand in our communities. Our competitors would die to have our brand power and what we have behind us, if you think about it. We are really coming from a position of strength with our portfolio. We have daily newspapers, we have weeklies, we have city magazines, we have events, and now we've got local commerce. So we've got a lot going on. And through these media channels, we're able to promote the new offerings of these initiatives, and that will broaden and diversify our portfolio as we evolve. As Derek said, we must be agile, okay? I believe there is a future for local media, but we have to listen to what the people and what businesses want from us. We have to be able to move and evolve also and change rapidly. The pace of business is extremely fast in today's world. Let me talk about people for a second. This is really, really important to me. And I just want to say that we have some phenomenal associates across the system. I met with some really, really smart people last week who came up with some great, great ideas. And we're just lucky. We're lucky. You know, I don't take a look at the corporate vision statement enough, but when I do, I'm still impressed. He wrote this over 15 years ago, and it's still very, very relevant. It's on point, it's meaningful, and it summarizes how we feel about our associates. Let me just read it to you. We value our employees, and we will provide an environment where they are motivated and inspired to produce superior products and to continually improve customer service.